Alrighty, here we go. Serenity is taking on Yugi, who was the Duelist Kingdom champion from the anime. Serenity does have one more match after this, and it will be a match with Pegasus, which will hopefully have produced tomorrow as well. But Yugi going up against Serenity is a match that we've all been waiting for as well. Alright, so Serenity has won rock, paper, scissors, and she has elected to go first, and it's not a great starting hand. Penumbral Soldier Lady is useful, but Serenity will need something else. And oh, there's something else. Spirit of the Harp at 2000 defense. That now is a pretty good starting hand. There's a 7 Tools of the Bandit there as well, which can be used to block Mirror Force or Spellbinding Circle or anything of that description as well. Alright, Yugi's first turn, he has summoned the Komori Dragon, so Serenity should be okay. And I'm just finding where we were up to. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, Penumbral Soldier Lady is just about to come to the field, and unless Yugi has something to block here, he will lose his Komori Dragon, and Serenity will have... Oh, it's Horn of Heaven. Now, Komori Dragon's been tributed, but Serenity's Penumbral Soldier Lady is going to stay on the field, so Yugi has just thrown away the monster that was potentially going to be on the field for him. So Yugi has used the Horn of Heaven, and he's the only one who's lost a monster. So Serenity's going to have a free shot here. Alright, starting on comments, Crimson Maelstrom says, the ultimate sibling rivalry, Joey should have gone easier on Serenity though. Pretty sure Tristan punched Joey out for it. Yeah, there's no doubt that Tristan would have tried to make Serenity feel better some way. I actually watched the episode last night where they all sort of part ways after Battle City. And Duke Devlin slips Serenity's phone number, then Tristan sort of gets all antsy about it, then does the same thing, slips Serenity his phone number, and then Joey, then he has no problem with Duke doing it, but he's got an issue with Tristan doing it. Emperor Pikachu says, poor Serenity reminds me when I used to pick on my younger brother growing up. If anyone is wondering where the 2013 comes from, it was my high school graduation year. Ah, okay. I graduated 2008, so what that mean? Emperor Pikachu, you'd be about 28 years old, maybe going on 29. So, if that is the case, I mean, unless in Australia generally you finish year 12, your final year of high school in like the year you turn 17, traditionally. That would mean that you're getting close to the 30s, my friend, which is it's a scary number, but it's you don't feel too much different, to be honest. You wake up a little bit more often, and you're just like, but the all-seeing white tiger. So Serenity is taking control of the field here. Yugi has thrown down a few defenses, but he's just got that one card. It could be a Mirror Force, but it isn't. Serenity's doing well here. Yugi's almost going to be out of life points after this turn. SCH292 says, I can almost imagine Duke and Tristan getting upset at Joey because Joey is being too tough on Serenity. They'll be like, oh, come on, Joey, man. Give Serenity a break. It's her first duel. Despite it probably not being her first duel, Yugi has just played Burning Land. He looks like he's out of moves, and Serenity is going to pick up the win on this turn because Yugi's face down didn't help him before. So a quick first win, 11 turns, and Serenity is up 1-0. So it'll be a tough comeback here for Yugi. Alejandro Fernandez says, 2 of my favorite archetypes going against each other. Maya's deck is far from full power, but it should still be a fun duel. The Amazoness and the Harpies are 2 very good archetypes. At full power, the Harpies can get the win over the Amazoness quite easily. A full power Amazoness as well. They are a very evenly matched archetype. Alright, Serenity starts off. Witch of the Black Forest, that's not too bad. You don't mind that on your first turn. Sukowski 1978 says, who will snoo who? That's for Tanya and Mai. And also says, did Tanya just use scissors in the second match with Mai? Yeah, probably. And Crimson Maelstrom, either way this goes, someone is going to get snoo snoo. You know, I have to watch Futurama again sometime soon. Witch of the Black Forest is destroyed, so Serenity can pull her 1500 or less defense from the deck. And goes with Penumbral Soldier Lady again. It's a good choice. It was Horn Imp that Yugi threw down, and Serenity does have Water Magician available, which is 1400. There's Water Pond. Alright, Water Magician comes to the field, and we'll possibly get rid of Horn Imp here. So it's Serenity, if Water Magician can stay on the field for a turn, Penumbral Soldier Lady, and Spellbinding Circle. Serenity does have a remove trap, but she will skip her she'll have to end her battle phase to get to it. SCH 292, I bet Joey might use Aerodactyl or some sort of dragon flying type fighting Pokemon like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Primate, Machamp, the ones you mentioned, or as such. As for Bones, I bet he will use Mark Weezing, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, or those ugly, creepy looking type of Pokemon. Do you mean like Mimikyu and stuff like that as well? That's something I could picture. I could picture Bones using like Trubbish or something as well. Alright, Serenity has gone and got Penumbral Soldier Lady back to the field. This could be a whitewash with the way this is going. And at 1324 and 1329, that's Total BS, Graceful Charity, and Pot of Greed. Total AI deck stacking as usual. Yes, you see it a lot on this game with the AI, and Yugi himself has just played a Swords of Revealing Light. Serenity herself also has Swords of Revealing Light. There's Polymerization. Sukowski says, I know the episode when Bart makes a collect call to Australia to make a prank call in the US, and the department wants him to receive a building by the Prime Minister of Canada, but then unleashes a plague of frogs. Meanwhile, the Simpsons escape Australia via a helicopter with an ominous koala hanging underneath. It's what season was that episode? Was it season? It was an early one. It was either like a season 3 or a season 4 or something. Bart vs Australia is the name of the episode. I'll quickly Google it. It was season 6. Wow, it was... Okay. I thought it was a bit earlier than that. I know all the Simpson episodes are on Disney Plus except for one, and it was one which had Michael Jackson doing the voice with the inmate, or the asylum inmate, who was the big chunky guy. And Yugi has destroyed Penumbral Soldier Lady with the effect of Celtic Guardian and the Horn of the Unicorn, and has now brought it back on his side of the field. That ain't very nice. There's White Magician Pikeru. Serenity does have Swords of Revealing Light, and she's gonna play it. All right, Yugi's monsters are now all face up. Yeah, I thought the episode was a bit earlier. Season 6, I think that was, I think in between at the end of season 5 and the start of season 6, or the end of 6 and the start of 7 was the Maggie, or the Who Shot Mr. Burns. And Sukowski also says, I could see Yugi having a Luxray. They could get their hair cut at the same place. That's actually a That's actually a good spot. Luxray and Yugi, they do have similar hairstyles. Luxray's terrifying. If you've played Arceus Legends, if you walk around in the sort of like the forest part where you find the Dustox and the Beautiflies, man, there's a Luxray walking around that's got the red shining eyes. That thing's nasty, man. Like, Moonwolfie says, a battle of the wheelers. If Joey and Serenity dueled in the series, I can just imagine the duel conversation, along with how Yugi, Taya, Duke, and Tristan would react. I would expect they'd all be just yelling at Joey. Joey could like summon Red Eyes, and then they'll be like, Joey, don't play Red Eyes on Serenity. Red Eyes is a big scary dragon, and Serenity's got Waterpon and White Magician Pikachu. And Joe Lowe's says, I actually think Serenity asked Joey not to take it easy on her because she wanted to see how well she can hold against her big brother, and Joey agreed, telling her that she'd get 100% what he can do. That is probably how it would go as well. Serenity would be like, Joey, don't hold back just because I'm Serenity. And, well, Serenity stacked up a lot of life points here, but she doesn't have anything to really attack back with. So 5 monsters on defense. Yugi, oh, he's just gone for tribute. That face down was Karibo. And the Summon Skull, 2500. And Yugi's moved everything to attack mode. Serenity could be in a bit of trouble here. And Horn of the Unicorn, that's right, Yugi does have that as well. He's got a strong field now, 3 monsters over 2000. Activates Monster Recovery. So throws Griffor and draws himself 2 new cards. Robert Jones says, Joey is a Meowth user easily. He's a gambling goofball. Ah, that's a... yeah, Joey using like Payday or something. And said Yugi would be Psychic and Dark. That's an ironic typing mix because Psychic don't affect Dark. Funny story. So I did a solo run with Mewtwo on Gen 3. I've done 100 Pokemon on Gen 1. I've got 51 to go to complete my 151 solo runs. I've done maybe 12 or 13 or so on Gen 2. I'm just started to get going on that. I recently did Zapdos. I still need to put it together though. But I've done one on Gen 3, and that was Mewtwo. Because I thought, I've never done one on Gen 3. I'll do one just because it'll be fun. And I'll do it with Mewtwo, because Mewtwo cakewalked Gen 1. Did I do one with Mewtwo in Gen 2? I did, and he pretty much smashed Gen 2 to bits as well. And I thought, Mewtwo, he'll breeze through Gen 3. Except he starts with Confusion and Barrier. Those are his only 2 moves that he starts off with at level 5. So I use a code to mod the starter. I didn't in Gen 3 though. I had to mod a Master Ball and catch it in the wild because I don't know how to get a code in to do that on Emerald. Emerald's very picky with Game Shark codes and stuff. It doesn't work as well with it. But anyway, the first trainer has a Poochyena. And because I only had Confusion, I couldn't get past that Poochyena. I had to deplete Mewtwo's PP so I could use Struggle to get through like the first few trainers of that game. So Mewtwo didn't actually turn out to be that easy after all. He actually was fairly difficult. And because I guess Gen 3 amped up a bit more on Dark types because they were introduced in Gen 2, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. But got there in the end. And now Yugi's just played Griffor again. He's only got one of them. He threw it back to the deck and he's pulled it out again. But Serenity, she's got very little left. She will survive, only just, and that was with 10,000 plus life points. So she'll get one more turn, but it looks like Yugi might win this one. Moonwolfie, this is for the Joey and Bones story duel. That first hand was crap, and second hand has 3 Time Wizards and a baby dragon. Just another case of story decks being ridiculous since Joey didn't have duplicates of any of his monsters. He does like dragons and flame swordsmen as his favorite card. I think he would use Charmander or Charizard. Or he could just use fire type with some fighter type. Maybe like a Blaziken or something then for Joey, because he's a fire and fighting. I could also see him with a Mr. Mime or a Jinx. Mai would use whatever the Harpy equivalent is. Possibly Pidgeot and Pharaoh? Oh, Pharaoh? I think it might mean Pharaoh. Yugi would use Abra or some kind of their Psychic, Houndoom, Luxray, Psychic, Dark and Lightning. Tristan would have Fighting type. Taya would have Clefairy or Fairy types. Yeah, I could see Taya having Jigglypuffs, Clefairies, Munna as well, something like that. Serenity would have an Eevee, Jigglypuff, Vulpix, Ponyta, and a Growlithe. Various types that are cute. Charmander is my favorite Gen 1 starter, and I love my Charizard. I used to get Charizard to get rid of the annoying lads, lasses, and such. My Charizard was always at least 10 levels stronger than any other Pokemon I had, since he always got EXP for being the first one out in every battle. I like my fire Pokemon, but I did have Pokemon of various types in the party. And, ooh, okay, Spirit of the Harp first turn, and Wingweaver. We could see Wingweaver in this match. I went on a hunt through the first sections prior to the first gym battle for a dang Pikachu on a play of Pokemon Red or one of the later games. Vulpix, Ponyta, Growlithe, Jolteon, Flareon, Glaceon, Umbreon, Lapras, Onix are some of my go-to Pokemon, along with Charizard or whatever the fire starter is, probably on that particular game. I usually pick water starters. I've always gone for the water starters. I do like the fire ones. And of course, nobody ever picks grass as starter. I don't know, it's just a thing. But the funny thing is, though, stat-wise, Venusaur's actually the best one, stat-wise. And in Gem 1, Venusaur can use the Leech Seed and Toxic glitch. For those who don't know about that, in Gem 1, there is a glitch in that game, and we're going to see Wingweaver. 2750, that's massive power. Just gotta... Oh, he's got Horn of Heaven again. This time he doesn't go with Komori Dragon, and Serenity doesn't have Seventors this time. She's got Magic Jammer. Oh, that's a shocker. But she had to go for it. She had to get Wingweaver to the field. And Celtic Guardian now, and Serenity's going to take some life point damage. Okay, the Toxic and the Leech Seed glitch from Gem 1 Pokemon games. If you use Leech Seed and then you use Toxic, whenever the enemy gets the damage from Leech Seed, you get like your bit of health back. But if you use Toxic, the accumulative effect on Toxic overrides Leech Seed. So Leech Seed starts doing more damage as well and starts healing you at a higher rate as well. So the two effects, like, they both multiply off each other. They're not meant to, but they do. So, like, Toxic does a little bit of damage. Say it does, like, 5 damage. Then you get Leech Seed, which does 5 damage. Next turn, Toxic will do a little bit more. Let's say it does 8 damage. So will Leech Seed. Leech Seed doesn't accumulate damage like that, but if you use Toxic and Leech Seed together, that Pokemon will just have health absolutely torn out of it. It's Gem 1 has quite a few different little bugs like that. Richard Mosham says, you might worry that these duels this is for Tanya and Mai, says, you might worry that these duels risk being boring because the Amazonas monsters are so dominant, but that's not my experience at all. I love the synergy the cards have with one another. If anything, I want to see the unnerfed version of the deck against some opponents who might have a chance against it. Also laughing at the death by Snoo Snoo line getting revived from its Futurama days. Again, I really need to rewatch Futurama as well. It's such a good show. In comparison, like, The Simpsons has more longevity and is kind of a bit more sort of like on the success range, but Futurama was consistently good from start to finish. The Simpsons, after like season 20, they really dropped off. I actually watched one of the latest episodes that came out in season 36, The fact that I can't remember what happened in the episode probably says a lot, but it wasn't a bad episode. I just can't remember what happened in it. Oh, Marge and Smithers become wine taste testers, and they make like a fake wine for Mr. Burns because it's got a cameo with two of the characters from season 1 where Bart goes to France and he gets those like two real bastard French guys housing him at that, and they make him work in the vineyard. They had those two in the jail. That was actually a really cool like Easter egg throwback, as Serenity won the first duel, but she has lost the next two, and in that third duel she got a Wingweaver to the field, but Yugi was just ready for it. He just had the right cards at the right time. Protagonist BS. Well, it's another loss for Serenity. She's got one more match, and that is against Pegasus. I have got it on the hard drive, and I haven't seen it yet, so I can't spoil anything, but what I can say is the raw file on that is 40 plus minutes. So there must be something good happening in that, unless they're trolling me and there's just like 10 minutes of like a stall or anything. But I don't know. It looks like it might be a long and good match. Well, we do have Tanya's match coming up after this one as well. Tanya is taking on Bakura. Bakura is a character who could beat her. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks for leaving the comments wherever you are in the world. Stay safe. Take care. Farewell.